is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Usingers has been making America's finest sausage for over 140 years. Flash frozen and vacuum packed, Usingers fresh brats are styrofoam free and will stay for 6 months in your freezer. And because there's no air in the package, there's no need for chemical preservatives. Usingers fresh brats are the freshest and most additive-free you will find. Enjoy some this summer with all of our other great Link products. Our vac-packed sausage seals in flavor and leaves out chemicals. Remember, if it's got the elf on the label, you've got quality on the table.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Man, it's nice to have that guy on our side, huh? Wow, Jose Quintana. What a debut for the Brewers. 7-0 shutout. And the best news of all, the run differential is in the positives now. +1 for the run differential with this 7-0 victory today for the Crew. I'm Dom Cotroneo. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. That's the Saudi Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. We'll have Craig Kashan join us in just a moment, but let's start off the show with the highlight recap.
For this, this,
one of the catches of the year,
and this,
it is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Jose Quintana, his first start as a Brewer, taking on Eduardo Rodriguez and the Arizona Diamondbacks. This was all about the defense early in this one because there were a couple of base runners.
Away from first with Hoskins holding him on. And the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Big Hopper Ortiz to second for one. Turang makes the turn in time. And the Brewers turn 2, and the inning is over.
Well, that would be far from the only double play in this game. In fact, it's one inning later.
1-0 pitch is a ground ball to short. Ortiz flips to second. Turang, an easy turn to first. And the second consecutive inning where the Diamondbacks have hit into a double play to end it.
Lane Grindle's call there. Well, there was a base runner in each of the first 3 innings of this contest against Jose Quintana, and he took care of him himself in the third.
They got him leaning, and out is McCarthy, picked off by Quintana. And he was out pretty easily, it looked like. Hoskins applies the tag, 2 out. I guess we don't need a 6-4-3 double play.
There's Josh Mauer on the call. So Quintana actually faced the minimum through 6 innings of this game, and once he finished with 7, he only faced 1 more than the minimum. More on that a little bit later on in the program. But the Brewers offense pretty quiet at this point against another lefty in Eduardo Rodriguez. They had left 2 stranded in the second inning, left 1 man stranded in the third. But a leadoff double from Hoskins in the 4th inning came around a score thanks to Sal
Swings, grounds it right past that drawn-in first baseman Naylor and into right for a base hit. Scoring is Hoskins. Frelick is going to try for second. And the throw from Carroll is not in time. No bunt from Sal. Instead, he slugs an RBI double, and it's 1-0 Brewers in the 4th.
Now we move on to the 5th inning. A leadoff single from Bryce Turang. He had a great night once again. More on that later. Churrios singled up the middle to extend his hitting streak as well. That's a career-long 13 games for him. 2 on, nobody out. Christian Yelich comes to the plate.
Out of the windup the pitch. And a ground ball right side. This is going to get the run home. Picked by Hampson. He'll throw to first and retire Yelich. But coming home is Turang. Moving to third is Churrio. Yelich drives in his 9th of the year, and the Brewers lead it 2-0.
Failed to mention there was a pass ball right before that, too, moving the runners to second and third. And situational offense from the Brewers. With the infield back, Yelly puts the ball in play, gets 1 run home. The next batter, William Contreras, he hits a sacrifice fly. The Brewers in control, 3-0. They would finally add insurance better late than never in the 9th inning with a rally against Joe Mantiply. A leadoff single up the middle by Joey Ortiz. perfect bunt single by Garrett Mitchell. Then Vinny Capper, who was trying to square the bunt, gets hit by a pitch to load the bases, and the floodgates open for Bryce Terang.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball, ground ball through the right side and into right field for a base hit. Ortiz sprints home. Mitchell around third. He will score standing up. The throw goes to third. Capra's in there sliding, and Terang with some great base running sees that nobody's covering the bag at second, so he streaks there. The Brewers lead it 5-0 on Terang's 2-run single.
They would add 2 more runs in the frame as well. Another RBI ground out for Yelly and a hustle infield run out hit by William Contreras. The Brewers up 7-0. Trevor McGill hasn't pitched this whole road trip. He comes in for overkill in the 9th, and the Brewers win 7-0. It's a +1 run differential, and the vibes are great. Jose Quintana gets the win for the Brewers in his debut. We'll talk about some of the great accolades that he racks up today, going 7 shutout innings. He gets the win. The Brewers are 1-0 against the Diamondbacks with 2 more this weekend at Chase Field. We'll break it down with Craig Kishon coming up here in just a moment on 620 WTMJ.
April Brewers action rounds out with the matchup against the Tigers and Athletics. Catch the series opener April 14th as the first 10,000 fans get a Brewers t-shirt designed by Unfinished Legacy. Then get Brewers collectibles at back-to-back games against the Athletics. First up, Peanuts Night on April 18th, featuring a Franklin Bobble with special tickets. And don't miss a Brewers football jersey for the first 25,000 fans April 19th. Get set for an action-packed April at Brewers.com.
So it's about time you spruced up your home. Nothing major. You're not looking to spend a ton.
Just let me know when you
but
grab
you
it.
are looking for something that'll give your quarters a little upgrade. You know, there are a lot of things you can do with glass. Simply beveling your mirrors can do wonders. You can mill out your wood cabinet doors and replace the center with attractive glass inserts, or customize them with unique handcrafted artistry, or maybe a theme. You could even install a new glass shower door and add some real appeal to your bathroom. They're all pretty affordable home improvements. And Les's Glass Service has been helping homeowners like you for just about longer than anyone in town. You probably don't realize how affordably we can help you reach your home's full potential. But we do, and we can show you countless options. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Brewers get the win, 7-0. Fun one tonight. Corbin Burns tomorrow. It's not going to get any easier. Craig Kishon's going to join us in just a moment. This is Brewers Extra Innings. Hey, Milwaukee, looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs? Look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience the unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Everything today is really going to anchor with what Jose Quintana did today. A couple of texts that I've agreed with that, to say the least. Brian from Wauwatosa, great debut from Quintana. Offense is great again. Small ball at its finest. Yeah, Brewers 7 runs without a home run today. The next test, how well will they handle Burns tomorrow? Looking forward to Saturday night's ball game. This one from the 510. This one, hey Dom, watching Quintana was beautiful. Really puts things into perspective about who he is as a player now that he dons the blue and gold. Absolute pro. Josh in Greenfield, this text, Quintana did his thing as a member of the Brewers. Tonight was a complete performance and good to see. Fingers crossed again against Arizona starting pitching the rest of the weekend. Not only do you see Burns tomorrow, you see Zach Gallen on Sunday. Brian from Whitewater, I've never seen a pitcher as good as Quintana was tonight, and you'd never known it by looking at him. He was completely locked in, excited to finally have him on our side. One more here from Doug in Baraboo. That was worth the wait. Nice seeing Quintana mow down a team besides the Brewers. This guy could get them over the hump in the playoffs. Brewers saw him, though, 6 shutout against them last year in the playoffs, and Pat Murphy deserves a lot of credit as being the guy that was kind of, poking the people in the charge, and he's kind of shy about that, but it's the truth. He was asking Matt Arnold and Mark Atanasio all offseason, like, we got to get this guy. And, every coach and manager and everyone has a take on how to improve the team, and it's like, all right, Murph. And generally, Murph, and he would tell you this too, I stay in my lane. I am not trying to make recommendations, and this is somebody that he just feels really strongly about. And to have that validated is certainly welcoming. 7 shutout innings in his first game as a Brewer. It has been a minute since somebody has done the same, at least 7 innings in your first start with the Brewers. The last to do it, Tomo Oka, 2005. That's how far back we're going. June 14th against Tampa Bay. He went 9 innings in that one. Also, the Steve Woodard in 1997. Steve Sparks, 1995. Odell Jones in 1988. Tom Filer in 1988 as well. L.A., Larry Anderson in 75. And Earl Stevenson in 1972. So not many guys have done that in the wild card era. He becomes only the 4th player to do it in the wild card era. And Jose Quintana, nice to have him in the blue and gold. Craig Kishon joins us now. And Craig, we've seen this from afar too many times, talking about, well, Jose did it again. And now we get to sit and break down, man, how can he not hit that 91 down? Why can't they sit on that? Hey, we've seen it. We know the feeling. And he just was the exact same guy he's been his entire career tonight.
That was the most beautiful thing about it, Dom, is you really wanted him to be that same guy. And at age 36, you just weren't 100% sure. I think we all had a pretty good idea. But, for him just to come out and, just sit back on the mound, execute his pitches, everything really went brilliantly. He's got a great defense behind him. We saw that early with the 2 double plays. He had his own pickoff. It was just really good stuff to watch. And it's just nice to see somebody else be frustrated instead of the Brewer batters this time around.
What impressed you most about the repertoire? Because, again, he didn't change anything. Majority sinkers, flash the slur, flash the curve, slash the changeup. I'm marveling at a guy who's a 13-year veteran in the show that, nobody wanted until the first week of March in spring training right now. There were reports that he turned down an offer from the Pirates. We haven't confirmed that. Other teams were interested in his services, but it was the Brewers, of all teams, to strike the iron, and I think every other team is sitting here like, oh, no, we let him go to the Brewers? And you already see him 7 shutout innings. It's just 1 start. There's nothing really to change from that repertoire.
No, there's not. And, his sinker was really good early, too. That's, he induced the 2 double plays on that. He only had a couple of strikeouts, had that early one on that as well. I just like the way that he just went about his business with, the fastball was working well. The curveball played in very well, too. I just think everything that he did tonight was just vintage, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing, that we all have to really grasp on this whole thing is he's in a Brewer uniform doing it right now. He hasn't changed. And I know we're only 1 game into this, but he's a pro, man. He was asked during post game, the last time, that you threw to batters were basically teenagers, at Brewers camp here just, less than a week ago. And how did you come out against these veteran hitters? He's been doing this for 16 years. He just knows what to do. And this is why he is still pitching, at this age and is still as effective as he is.
Yeah. And for a reminder, it's a $2 million deal. There was a signing bonus on top of it as well, and a $2 million buyout of a mutual option next year that's worth $15 million. those mutual options are almost never picked up. So he's guaranteed $4 million on top of the signing bonus, which is why a lot of teams are probably pretty frustrated that they didn't have the genius to do so themselves. Real quickly, too, on Quintana today, what I was most impressed with, not just because he's a veteran, he's 36 years young, and everything that he's done in this game and how many teams he's played for, but the fact that he was so comfortable with men on base, even in that seventh inning, right? It was still a very in the balance in the seventh inning against the top of the order for a third time through. Kudos to Pat Murphy and to Chris Hook and to everybody on the pitching staff to say, you know what, let him get another chance out there, because he had been mowing down. He had faced a minimum through 6 innings and allows a leadoff single for Geraldo Perdomo, and then quickly Carroll bounces into the fielder's choice, and you're thinking, okay, well, you're feeling great. And he never was worried about Carroll trying to steal. He just has a calm, professional presence that it's a stat that's not going to pop up in a box score, of course, but that's something that you can hope radiate to the rest of this staff.
Well, and the other thing too, Dom, is you get to a point of the game with a lot of the pitchers we're just used to seeing go through this rotation right now, and they probably would not have been allowed to get out there in that inning, but secondly, just all of a sudden, his pitch count in that particular inning was much higher than any other inning during the game. And you're thinking, in the seventh inning, is this going to have any effect on him? But, the longer you just watch him, just do his thing and his calm demeanor, like you're talking about, is this is why this guy's been around as long as he has, and why he's going to continue to pitch for a while here now.
All right, let's talk a little offense coming up after the break. The Brewers win 7-0. Vibes are good. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Once again, 855-616-1620. Right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win, Brewers win, Brewers win. Everything's coming up roses right now. They've won 8 of their last 10. Very quietly, after the season was allegedly over after 4 games this year. The Brewers improved their record to 8-5, their third shutout win of the year. But also, they dropped 7 runs on the Diamondbacks and a pretty good pitching staff, a pretty good bullpen. They beat up on Joe Mantiply today. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Bryce Terang, or do you want to start with the contact-oriented lineup today? Only 4 strikeouts for the Brewers lineup today overall. I personally think we should start with Bryce.
Well, I mean, look what Bryce is doing in that bottom part of the order when he's facing left-handed pitching. And he just had the hitting streak come to an end, and today gets 3 more hits, scores a couple of runs, 2 RBIs coming in that 9th inning knock. I mean, I don't know how much more we can describe how far he's come in such a short amount of time with his swing and his offensive production. But he's really fun to watch. He is right before our eyes, maturing, it seems like every single day, Dom. And this guy's a big-time big leaguer. And the great thing about it is, there's still plenty of room to grow. There's a high ceiling with this guy.
When I think of Turang, it felt like every ball was hit pretty well today. And then even the last one, he didn't get all of it. And that was still technically a hard hit ball. I look at Turang continuing to develop, like we've talked about so many times over the last week, but when you first see the lineup card and you understand they're facing a lefty, they face two righties the next 2 days, so he's going to be at the top of the lineup card the next two games. But when you see him at the bottom, I'm like, I'm a little disappointed. I would like to see more of him. But then you get the situation like he led off an inning twice tonight, and then he batted second in the seventh inning. So at the end of the day, yeah, if it's a full season that he's batting ninth, you're going to rob maybe 150, 200 plate appearances from him, but he's not going to spend a full season down there. And when he gets the opportunity to still lead off an inning, he's doing his job, getting 3 singles, didn't steal it back today, but scored 2 runs. You only have that order once, because then all of a sudden, when you have Turang leading off the fifth, which led to 2 runs, and then you go Turang, Chourio, Yelich, Contreras, Hoskins, like Freely, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what everyone's afraid of, and that's where he does his job as that second leadoff man, even though he's batting ninth.
Yeah, and I think the second leadoff man type concept, I think is probably a little more prominent in this game, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years. But getting the production out of a guy who can literally flip from first to ninth is really telling about Bryce Turang's approach at the plate and what he does in the batter's box. And I think we got a nice dose of that tonight. We've gotten a full dose during his hitting streak as well. But it's kind of fun to watch how this batting order works. I mean, he's either going to bat leadoff or he's going to bat ninth. Sal Frelick settled into the fifth spot, and he gets a lot of opportunities to lead off innings as well. So the rest of these guys are kind of, filling around a little bit. Christian, is kind of locked into that 2 spot, but top of the order. This order right now and how it's played, depending upon starting pitching, is working out really well for Murph here, and how this staff assembles their day-to-day lineup for this team. But it is fun to watch a guy who's batting ninth have all the production. And to me, Dom, it's not just production and getting on base, it's the damage. I mean, this guy does damage. He had 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So his bottom of the order production is leading to bigger and better things when you turn it around.
A text from Tom in Pewaukee. That was just about the most Brewers win. Lots of pitching to contact, defense picking up Quintana. See, Murph's worn off on me. Lots of speed, contact in the gaps, productive outs from the lineup with like a smidge more of pop, and that's fair, but this is nice. I do want to talk about the middle of the order. I know Hoskins had a double down the line and a couple of walks, but still waiting on his home run. Frelick had a Baltimore chop double. It's a double in the box score, but people watching are like, hey, it's more like a single. But I look at Yelly and I look at Contreras, and I told you this when we were watching the game together. Professional at-bats, understanding the situation. The Brewers have struggled so far this year with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. We've talked about it in that first homestand a lot, with how much the contact play is hated again and not getting a ball out of the infield. Well, infield back for Yelich, put the ball in play. That scores a run. Oh, runner on third and less than 2 outs and the infield's in. Williams says, I got to get one to the outfield, and he does his job. Twice, Yelly did that, and then Contreras legs out an infield hit from the ninth for another RBI for him. Professional at-bats, another opportunity to be an example and show, hey, guys, just do the job and good things happen.
Yeah, I love it, too. I mean, just the fact that you're right. That is such a way of leading by example. It's not even funny. It's just saying, we've been around long enough. Trust me, guys, this is all we need to do. If we collectively do this, we can score some runs together. We can continue to put pressure on the defense, put pressure on pitching. We know how this all works, but you got to have guys that are willing to go out there and do it. There's a willing part to say, I'm going to give up an at-bat. so to say, to possibly hit a home run, double, get on base, get all my numbers up. But all that matters here right now, they are collecting RBIs, but they are doing everything that it takes to win ball games right now. And those are the great things. I mean, we're talking about these veteran guys, and look who they're setting examples for. Guys like Sal Frelick and Bryce Terang and Jackson Churio and Joey Ortiz, just to name a few of the young guys. These are smart guys, and they get it, and they're mature in their own way. But to know that a guy's been around like Christian has for, up to 10 years now, and William Contreras is starting to build up, his resume. Rhys Hoskins has been around for a long time. They need to see guys like this do this all the time. And we know Yelich and Contreras and a few of these other guys are willing to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Brewers win a game. They score 7 runs in a game in which they did not hit a home run. And when the power comes from William and Yelly and Rhys and others on this team that have the ability to hit home runs, they're going to be even more dangerous. Granted, this team is not built on homers, which is why a night like tonight is no surprise for anybody, given the fact that, this is what they do. It's annoying to other teams, but the truth is, it's they win games by just, paper cutting you to death, really, with the way that they're able to, infield in, like we talk about, or Sal showing bunt, then deciding, nope, just kidding, I'm actually going to be swinging. It's got to be a maddening team to face on the other side.
Yeah, that's a really good point for sure. I mean, they are going to paper cut you, nickel and dime you because they can, and they'll get the long ball when those opportunities knock. I mean, we saw it in the Colorado series. It probably will happen at some point in the remaining 2 games of this series as well. But the home runs, they come when, the time is right. And right now the time is right for this team to just keep chopping away at opposing pitching. And we saw a great example of it tonight for sure.
And the stat from last year still reigns true. The Brewers won the most games in baseball last year in which they did not hit a home run. So much of baseball is reliant on hitting the ball with friends. I'm never going to turn down home runs, but when you're still able to put up 7 because you do other things exceptionally well, that is a recipe for success. All right, Craig and Sean, we got a long weekend together, some late nights. I'll get you out of here early. Appreciate your insight as always, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right, Tom, appreciate it. See you tomorrow.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more specifically about this bullpen, and we talked plenty about Quintana already, but just what this start means for the rotation and a stat that just continues to scratch my head. Back with more after this on 620 WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Harley-Davidson board member's resignation drawing attention for its concern over the future of the company.
Eric Bilstad.
China now accusing the U.S. of economic bullying while it raises tariffs on American goods.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We've got 43 northbound completely closed at North Avenue because of a crash.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstad here for QC Kinetics, chronic joint pain. You know what living with chronic joint pain is like? It's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa. Nothing feels good, right? So forget trying to do the things you enjoy like golfing or hiking or tennis. You're just trying to get by. But there is something you can do. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Milwaukee are on the case and focus on getting you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that can help calm the debilitating joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or your back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you're curious if you'd be a candidate, the consultation is totally free, and they do have appointments on Saturdays. So here's the number. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers get their 3rd shutout of the win, second most in baseball, only behind the Padres. 7-0 the final. The run differential is +1. They also didn't allow an extra base hit in tonight's game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And those giant gaps, the desert air, big packed house. Fun one for the crew tonight. We'll talk a little pitching, a little bit more in this segment. First, want to thank Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Spring is here, and that means warmer weather is on the way. Is your AC ready to keep you cool? Right now, at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, you can get $25 off an AC tune-up. But hurry, this deal is only good through the end of April. Visit Cider.com to schedule your appointment today. That's SEIDER.com. For the Brewers in their bullpen situation, Trevor McGill hadn't pitched since last Saturday. He needed to pitch today, regardless of it being 7-0 or if they were down 7-0. Trevor McGill was going to pitch in today's game. Good to see him not have any rust. Jared Koenig had back-to-back days off previously this week. Then he had pitched on Wednesday, had yesterday off, and then he pitches today. He's certainly good to go probably for tomorrow if need be. Piehouse might get another day too. He threw 26 pitches on Thursday in the loss in Colorado. We saw Nick Mears get up and loose, so he's in good shape. The point I'm making here is as you get 7-inning starts and cruise control wins, it is such a refreshing moment for your bullpen. Trevor McGill can obviously go in a back-to-back. He is certainly available tomorrow if the Brewers find themselves in a save situation. But then you've got everybody else, aside from Jared Koenig, with at least 1 day of rest. And why the Brewers getting depth out of their staff is the most important thing. Especially, look, it's only Chad Patrick's 3rd big league start tomorrow. Do you hope it goes like the first 2? Absolutely. But this is also an elite offense on the other side in the Arizona Diamondbacks. How are they going to be able to react? Because there's tape on everybody. Every team has scouts. Every team has a video department. Every team has a game plan. All right, they know the cutter's there. How do you stay on the cutter? How do you come up with something new? Are we going to see more changeups this time? We're going to see more sliders this time. This is the ebb and the flow, the adjustments that are made back and forth here in the league in your first couple of months as a big leaguer. But with Chad Patrick going tomorrow, and then that sets the stage for Freddie to go on Sunday. Freddie gets to potentially have free reign, where the Brewers go all in with their bullpen tomorrow behind Chad Patrick to say, let's win the series today, win tonight, in the words of Pat Murphy, and then hand it to Freddie and say, give us what you got because you've already won the series. Anything else is gravy from here would be great. But at the same time, if Chad Patrick delivers into the 6th inning perhaps, sweet, more gravy, bring it on. And that means he did a great job. Easier said than done, of course, going against Corbin Burns. Real quick on the transaction front, with Jose Quintana being added to the roster today officially, it was Elvis Peguero who was optioned down to AAA Nashville. Now, this officially marks his final option year, making this be his final option year, meaning next season he has to make the team out of spring training, otherwise he is subject to waivers. The reason why that's significant is because I know you can move him up and down a few times this year, but we keep in track. You can only do it 5 times, moving a guy up and down throughout a regular season between AAA and the big leagues when it doesn't have to do with injury. On the 6th time, he gets subjected through waivers. So that could be something the Brewers think about way down the road with Elvis Peguero. And I know some folks are asking, what about Craig Yoho? What about Craig Yoho? He looked great yesterday. He had a back-to-back for the Nashville Sounds. He's close. I really feel like his arrival to the big leagues is imminent. The catch is that 40-man roster spot that there would need to be a corresponding move. 5 games, 6 and a third innings, 7 strikeouts. He does have 3 walks and 2 hit batters. We'll monitor that, but no earned runs against Craig Yoho in Triple-A. In a moment, we will hear from the manager, Pat Murphy. If you're staying up late with us, 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620 is the phone number. The player of the game poll, no surprise, Jose Quintana, 91% of the vote. Yep, you guys all got it right. No problem there. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and hear from Murphy a little bit later right here on 620 WTMJ.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's Commercial Payments Solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Looking around baseball tonight, looks like a lot of rain on the East Coast. Yankees had to end early against the Giants. San Francisco, they're off to a 10-3 start, y'all. 9-1 the final for the Giants over the Yankees. Also a rain out in Baltimore with the Blue Jays and Orioles. But otherwise, few games in the Central. How about Andre Pallante? 7 shutout innings for him and the Cardinals today as they blank the Phillies. 2-0 the final score today. Only 3 hits allowed. None of them were extra base hits as well in the city of brotherly love. Despite only 1 for 13 day with runners in scoring position for the Redbirds, they are now 6-7. The Cubs just lost. They were shut out by the Dodgers. Man, I tell you what, the Cubs have had a brutal schedule at the start of this year between West Coast trips, Japan trip, all this stuff. They lose to the Dodgers 3-0. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was fantastic. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. The Cubs are now 9-7. Also in the division, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds playing there in the Queen. And the Reds win 5-3. That one was a Bailey Falter against Brady Singer. Home run for Jeimer Candelario and for Adam Frazier in that contest. 5-3 Cincinnati win. Elsewhere around the league, White Sox in the Battle of the Laundry Series. White Sox over the Red Sox 11-1 on the south side. Astros beat the Angels 14-3. And the first big league home run for the young Cam Smith, one of the youngest players in baseball, drafted last year. But oh, by the way, I know the Angels lost. Mike Trout hit his 6th home run of the season. That's tied for the MLB lead. We will monitor that for the rest of the year. Padres got their MLB leading 4th shutout tonight. They blanked the Rockies 8-0. They are 11-3. I tell you what, the NL West, man, and the Diamondbacks are very good as they now fall to 7-7, and they're in 4th place in their division at 500, right? San Diego 11-3, San Francisco 10-3, LA 11-4. And then Arizona at 7-7. It's going to be nuts. Take a breather. Up next, we hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, on 620 WTMJ.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a plan to solve your situation right now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, Cider.com.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Shout out to the Bucks, too. They clinch their spot in the playoffs. They will be the 5 seed. It looks like rematch Indiana. I don't watch a ton of Bucks basketball, but I watched last night. They beat up on the Pelicans. That was fun. So playoff basketball once again here in Milwaukee as the Bucks get ready for that with the season finale coming up. And then the Brewers will take it from there. Should be fun. Brewers win tonight 7-0 over the Diamondbacks, the first of 3 against Arizona to finish up this West Division road trip. Pat Murphy in a good mood with Jose Quintana on his side.
Oh yeah, I told him after he came on, I'm like, I've seen that performance a bunch, and I said, this is the first time I've ever been happy about it. But yeah, he was Matt Arnold's smiling from ear to ear because he knows he's laughing because he knows how much we wanted to get this guy and how hard he worked to get this guy and get this done. And I think it's just the start of something. I think he didn't have his best stuff tonight, but he was just what the doctor ordered. And I think our team played for the first time this year. I think our team played the type of game that we're going to have to play to be successful. And people just look at the bunts, right, and they go, "Hey, well, you guys bunted. You're a bunt off." No. It's being able to win in different ways. You know what I mean? and the other team's on their toes or on their heels a little bit because they don't know whether you're going to bunt or where to position. It's like that's what makes it special. But
Turang just spoke about how much you play so much more engaged defensively, right? When he's rolling like he was. Did you? Is that what you're also talking about?
Yeah, I mean, that's who he is, man. He's a consummate professional, man. He's a pitcher through and through. And in today's world with stuff and Arsenal scores and all that kind of stuff, he doesn't match up. He just matches up in a clubhouse when guys want to win because that's a guy you want to get behind.
Murph, is this kind of what intrigued you about him? Like he's out there and doesn't have...
I saw him 88 times. I saw him 88 times against us, and it didn't matter. And we didn't even have that bad of numbers against him. It was just a feeling you got in your stomach every time you faced him. You're like, oh, God, we got to face this guy. Like he's going to do this and make the pitch, and you never can tell what you're going to get. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. And William, give William credit. He did a great job tonight. Our defense played well, and it worked out. That's a good team over there. You guys know that. And they spent a lot of money in this offseason, and they really, they're going for it, and they got a great team. And to shut them down, their pitcher was pretty damn good too. We got some hits down the line, corner hitting we call it. We got some hits down the left field line, some hits down the right field line. And, sometimes it's the luck of the bounce, but it worked out for us tonight. And I'm really pleased the way we played offense.
Is there a question about the seventh there? I know he's not built up that much, but the pitch count was...
No, they told me he had 6 ups, his last thing. I was surprised by that. They told me he had 6 ups, and I asked Jose, I said, look, I want you to be straight with me, man. When you feel like that's it, that's it. And I asked him, and he said, I got it.
It's a challenging ask, like the top of that order. Perdomo gets on, he's got Corbin Carroll.
What they're thinking is, I hope they take this guy out.
It looked like you might have looked out to him.
I did. I said, you good? And what was he going to say to me? No, come and get me? It's kind of a loaded question, but like, you okay? He's like, I'm fine. He's thinking, God, what was I supposed to say?
Murph, on the bunts, you mentioned those. How much of that is those guys doing that on, I'm guessing the Mitchell hit one?
No, we told Mitchell about it.
Okay, but I was right about that. How much of those bunts tonight is...
Well, the Joey Ortiz wasn't called. That was the one that... He didn't do it on his own either, but we called for a bunt earlier, but then I took it off, and we didn't get that communication, so that was really on the coaches more than on us. So... or on Joey, but it's supposed to be a bunt for a hit anyways, but he bunted it too hard, but he wouldn't bunt there 2-0 and that situation. But live and learn, as we get, that was one mistake. The other mistake at first base, that's where we need the taser in the game. 8th inbound, the 8th, Hoskins, ground ball. Turang standing right there. Left-handed hitter, right? Naylor, we know how we position him. That's when you tase somebody, and that's more and more people would stay for the games.
Yeah. You're not playing, Murph, you're not playing with freedom. You're worried about getting tased.
Well, you just got to understand it's part of it. If you're going to play baseball, you get to get tased.
What about the trailer? Double? Did you take a bump off there?
Yeah. With the way they were positioned, you take it off. You've done what you need to do. You know what I mean? You've got them drawn in, and then there's a chance, and it just worked out. It's lucky. You know what I mean? It really is. But it looks genius when you do it. But it's strictly luck.
I mean, bunts are cool when they work. They work tonight. They all really work tonight. Move the guy along. Brewers baseball, that's what I think of when I think of how the Brewers have to be successful. And the only thing, they had a double steal, but that was with 2 strikes and 2 outs. But they didn't really get a chance to steal all that much today with the lefty on the mound. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Granted, tomorrow, Corbin Burnes, and we'll preview this next. A reminder, Corbin Burnes does not hold base runners well at all. Granted, Gabby Moreno has a cannon for an arm behind the plate. I'm pulling up his baseball reference right now for Corbin Burns last season with Baltimore. 41 stolen bases against him last season, most in baseball. 41 stolen bases, only 6 caught stealings last year. So far, opponents are 1 for 1 against Corbin Burns this year. Keep that in mind tomorrow if they get base runners against Corbin. Preview it coming up next. Battle of number 39s right here on 620 WTMJ.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45, it's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Did you know that Wisconsin has a new, quick, and free online tax filing tool called IRS Direct File? Direct File is changing how people file their taxes and bringing more money into our state through the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. File your federal and state taxes online directly with the IRS from your smartphone or computer. On average, file in less than 1 hour. Available in English and Spanish. Visit directfile.irs.gov to see if you're eligible. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Harley-Davidson board member's resignation drawing attention for its concern over the future of the company.
Eric Billstad.
China now accusing the U.S. of economic bullying while it raises tariffs on American goods.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We've got 43 northbound completely closed at North Avenue because of a crash.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Okay, broadcast schedule tomorrow. Not as late, but Saturday Night Baseball. 7:10 first pitch from the desert. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock. Yours truly. I have Brewers warm-up tomorrow evening here on WTMJ. Then the network takes over at 6:35. Then on Sunday, 3:10 first pitch. Yours truly with warm-up again at 2 o'clock. So hope you can join us for your pregame coverage leading into the game. And we have postgame shows, Brewers Extra Innings, after both of those contests this week. Then the Tigers come to town at 6:40 on Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday is a 12:10 game, if I'm not mistaken, weekday day game here early in the season. Pulling up the calendar. Yes, that is correct. And then Yelly's charity concert on Thursday night. And we'll have a Brewers Weekly that night. Tomorrow, Chad Patrick, Corbin Burns, the Battle of the Cutters, and the Battle of the number 39s. Could it be something? I don't know. Guess you'll have to wait and see what tomorrow can hold. And then on Sunday, it'll be Zach Gallen, the opening day starter, against Freddie Peralta, the opening day starter. And I'm just excited to see what the Brewers are made of. You know, they've already faced Corbin once last year when they had the chance to go for the sweep against the Orioles, if you recall last year, and William Contreras hit a leadoff home run not a leadoff home run, I should say. I need to pull this up. Against Corbin. They ended up losing the game 6-4 in that contest, but the Brewers kind of made their presence known instantly with Williams starting off the game the way he did. No, it was a leadoff home run. I was right. Yes. But the Brewers ended up losing that game. It was Colin Ray versus Corbin Burns starting that one. So the Brewers get to see the old friend once again tomorrow. That'll do it for this program. Appreciate our producer, Nate Rilling, and for Craig Kishon for joining the show as well. He'll be with us all weekend long. And for you, for listening, if you're up this late, go to bed. I'm just kidding. Thank you for listening. I'm going to go to bed too. My name is Dominic Cotroneo. We are back tomorrow on the air at 6 o'clock with Brewers and Diamondbacks. Until next time, keep on swinging.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but despite what a certain national online company tells you, a car's not one of them.
Let's see. Cheese Doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. Green 4-door hatchback. Honey, we're gonna need some more quarters.
Sure, they make it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. And member dealers also let you search online. And unlike those national